February 2020, Melly was involved in a multi-inmate fight inside the day room of his area unit and was given a DR for his role in the fight. October 2020, placed on a room restriction for refusing to go back to his cell as he was trying to hide while on the phone.
And developing now, there's a new push to get rapper YNW Melly out of jail. He's currently awaiting retrial for two childhood friends, but a new lawsuit alleges he's being held in inhumane conditions.
A major update has just been announced in the YNW Melly case. According to new reports, the growing amount of evidence in the witness tampering case has led Melly's lawyers to believe he may accept a plea deal in his trial. Prosecutors say that if witness tampering is proven, Melly could face a life sentence. This comes after confirmation that Melly's ex-girlfriend, Mariah Hamilton, has agreed to cooperate with authorities.
Mariah Hamilton is spending her first day at the Broward County Jail. She has no arrest record until now. U.S. Border Patrol agents arrested her at Miami International Airport Monday after she arrived on an international flight. Court records show Hamilton was ordered to testify in Demon's first trial in 2023.
With the likelihood of a guilty verdict increasing, Melly is reportedly considering a plea deal later this year. When Melly's trial first began in 2023, Mariah failed to appear in court. Law enforcement searched for her but later discovered that she had left the country. Toward the end of 2025, Mariah decided to return to the United States because she missed her family. When she booked a flight using her ID, it immediately triggered a federal alert. Authorities were waiting for her at the airport and arrested her upon arrival.
The state filing 6 new charges against Demons and 2 others who were allegedly involved. The charges include tampering with a witness, directing the activities of a criminal, solicitation or conspiracy to commit tampering, and unlawful use of a two-way communication device. Now, a couple of those charges actually carry a life in prison sentence if there's a conviction.
Federal prosecutors believe Mariah knows exactly what happened to Sack Heiser in juvie. However, for this specific case, their primary goal is to prove that Melly forced her to leave the country during the original trial. If that is confirmed, it would officially establish witness tampering.
It's this kind of crazy way that Melly was communicating. He wasn't allowed to use the phone, but he was passing notes to people, and then this person's calling this person and then that person.
They like to mean they're going through extreme measures, trying to cover up or convince people not to testify, like Mariah mom. They was using code words like Rihanna and A$AP Rocky's baby mom. And
after returning to the U.S., Mariah reportedly struggled while being held in jail. Sources claim the only way she was able to secure her release was by agreeing to testify against Melly. Shortly after accepting the deal, she posted on Facebook saying, "Thank you to my village. I love y'all so much. God's plan, not mine." Court documents later revealed that evidence recovered from Mariah's iCloud account allegedly proves Melly tampered with her as a witness.
Tweet out saying people are upset. I said, this is a gunna plea. This is a gunna plea. This isn't a plea saying you have to tell or him, but this is a plea that you're going to have to provide all the details that they were missing to convict him. And that's why it's a gunna plea. Why do I say he signed a gunna plea? Because YNW Melly, and I watched the case, we covered it. YNW Melly's case is that, number one, you guys have not done a job to prove that this is actually they are proving, but prove that this is a homicide with this person being the offender. Also, the accessory after the fact plea confirms that Bortlen, that's kind of like almost like a sub part of a conspiracy, except you weren't with the conspiracy at first. You came in after the fact. What that proved is that they came in. Oh my God, my dog. What that proved is that Bortlen worked with someone after he acknowledged that a murder took place in trying to cover it up. You hear what I just said? When pleading to an accessory to after the fact, you have to acknowledge that it happened and you assisted someone or in some way to cover the. Now, if Melly's statement is, how do we know that? And then secondly, how do we know who did it? Because they said it was a drive-by.
What makes this even more shocking is that Juvie's father claims he already knew. Melly was involved in witness tampering before it was officially announced. He even spoke about specific code words Melly allegedly used.
He will be flipping. He is going to be tell-all about anything he knows about the double case, and they will know if he's telling the truth or telling a lie when he gives his full quote-unquote confession as to what happened that evening. And that's what happens. A lot of times where guys are in the prison for 4 or 5 years awaiting trial and looking at a life sentence, and they're offered 10 years where they'll be home probably in another 3 years that he'll serve, he decides to flip and become a cheese eater. And that's what happens a lot of times on these cases. And I was expecting it to happen a lot sooner than it did. He held out for quite some time. But long story short is it looks like he's going to flip. And it makes the case on YNW Melly, depending on what he says, which I anticipate he'll say that YNW Melly is responsible.
The most damaging development for Melly came when his co-defendant Bortlen flipped sides. Reports confirmed that Bortlen accepted a plea deal and signed a proffer agreement, meaning he is now fully cooperating with federal prosecutors.
My son has not been convicted of anything, and even other inmates that have been convicted or anything, they have the right to use a telephone. They have a right to be allowed to write letters to their loved ones, to receive their mail. They hold his mail, they don't give it to him.
Bortlen pleaded no contest to accessory after the fact and received a sentence of 10 years in prison, followed by 6 years of probation. Legal experts explain that for a judge to accept this plea, Bortlen must provide a detailed, factual account of his involvement, which likely includes how Sackhazer and Juvie were killed.
You saw Melly's statement just saying how he's been hurt, how he's scared for his life. As a mother, how did that make you feel?
It's heartbreaking. It made me feel completely helpless. Broward Sheriff's Office definitely needs to be investigated. I mean, they are making up their own rules. We tried to go to court about this situation. The judge really doesn't have any jurisdiction when it comes to the jail, because we actually had a hearing about the mistreatment of him, and the jail they make their own rules. And I don't think that's fair, because I know that they need to answer to someone too.
Experts say this type of deal is similar to a gunner plea, except with a proffer agreement, Bortlen cannot stay silent. He must fully explain what happened.
The YNW Melly, I'm so happy he in jail getting mistreated. Yeah, I'm so happy he in jail getting mistreated, homie. Homie, when you take a life, homie, you ain't got a right to complain about a motherfucking thing about being mistreated when you done chose to play somebody.
At this point, Melly is essentially the only person left in the vehicle as a suspect. Because of this, many believe it is becoming increasingly difficult for him to avoid a guilty verdict.
Okay, so
then I met his mama while he was in.
Oh, okay.
I met his mom while he was in, and she real, bro. You know, she real.
She's stressed out. I heard she had a...
Yeah, she real, and I reached my hand out to him, cause I'm real. Yeah, I reached out to him, bro. I met his mom, and she a good woman, bro. And when I see them mamas like that, it remind me of what my mom was going through, bro.
Professional attorneys have also weighed in, stating that Bortlen testifying against Melly is almost guaranteed. Prosecutors would not drop multiple charges unless they were receiving cooperation in return.
The PC Gambino account asked him if he was okay, and his response was, "I did that," and placed a smiley face emoji.
And the next message from 10/26/2018 at 16:02 from Eastern Standard Time. The YNW Melly count says what?
After that, SHHH.
Melly's legal team has taken action by filing a lawsuit against the Broward Sheriff's Office. Melly is alleging cruel and unusual punishment and is seeking immediate release from jail.
Melly still turned regardless of what happened this early morning. He's still out here being very positive. Turned still. Hey! No, still turned, regardless of what happened. You already know.
Melly claims he has not been allowed to see or speak with his family for over 3 years. According to reports, he has been kept in a freezing jail cell, denied proper food, and isolated without meaningful human contact.
Can you state your name, your full legal name for the jury?
Leon Philip.
Okay. And are you related to one of the groups in this case?
Yes, I am.
How's that?
I'm his mother.
And who is that?
Christopher Thomas.
Ms. Phillips, did you see who entered into the occupants who entered into that gray Jeep?
Yes.
Do you recognize where your son entered that gray Jeep?
Yes.
Which seat, if you can identify for the jury?
He got in the back seat on the right-hand side.
Did you recognize the individual that got into the back seat on the left side, the rear driver's side?
Yes.
And who was that individual?
Janelle.
Several rappers reacted to the news, with some saying, "Free Melly." he's been in there too long.
So the first thing is I didn't have a firearm, so I can't know which I'm going to use in order to replicate any of my tests. So I can't make tests for this information because I don't know what was used.
Okay.
Melly's mother also spoke publicly, describing his jail conditions as disturbing. She stated that Melly is no longer allowed to use the jail phone or receive mail, even though other inmates who have already been convicted are allowed those privileges.
Melly's co-defendant YNW Bortlen was booked into a Miami jail Monday night and is being held behind bars on an out-of-county warrant. We just confirmed the warrant is out of Broward County for witness tampering. The warrant obtained by Law and Crime Network states as follows. On or about April 10, 2023, continuing through and including July 22, 2023, Cortland Henry, aka Bortlen, along with others, did unlawfully and knowingly engage in misleading conduct toward another person with the intent to cause or induce them to withhold testimony. The warrant continues the alleged witness had been summoned by the legal process to the jury trial of Jamel Dimmons, aka YNW Melly. The dates in the warrant are important. Jury selection for Melly started in mid-April, and a judge declared a mistrial on July 22nd, the same day the warrant claims Bortlen allegedly tampered with the witness.
Not everyone was sympathetic. Charleston White responded by saying Melly deserves harsh jail conditions for the crimes he has been charged with.
Keep it real, this is sloppy. Bortlen, how the f you gonna have the notebook of the jurors in your house? Holy sh! Like, come the f on. It's like doing a and having the surveillance tape in your DVD player or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, come on, bro. Like they raid your crib and the surveillance footage of the is in your DVD player. They be like, oh, okay, thank you, brother. This can't be at your crib.
On the other hand, rapper Boosie said he feels sympathy for Melly's mother, explaining that she is the one suffering the most.
And Chris Thomas are. So what you're also going to find out is while Mr. Devins is out there on the side of the road, 4 in the morning, 4:42 specifically, he sends a drop pin, digital homing beacon, to his current location, to one of his friends, Frederick Givens. Frederick Givens is also involved in the music industry, and he asked to be picked up. Frederick Givens, then about 11 minutes later, has sent another drop pin where Mr. Devins has moved a couple of meters. What you're going to find out as well, though, is these digital leashes, they have more than just phone call.
Due to the seriousness of Melly's jail conditions, the court allowed both sides to argue whether Melly should remain incarcerated while awaiting trial. Prosecutors presented evidence claiming Melly admitted to the crime on the night it occurred.
Same thing, the use of the slap term, 5-point star, snake. He's saying he's YSL, he's saying and he puts up his YNW for life hashtag on it with Mr. Devins having big B hand signs displayed.
Right, and see individuals again. We're seeing that also Young Thug. That's also unknown. Also important to your investigation, correct? Also publicly available, anyone can see.
Prosecutors also showed footage of Melly dancing with Bortlen the morning after his friends were killed, arguing that his behavior showed no signs of grief or remorse.
Yes, sir. Against our advice, our client must proceed.
Another key piece of evidence was surveillance footage showing Melly entering the back left seat of the Jeep on the night of the murders. Ballistics reports indicate that the bullets traveled from left to right inside the vehicle, aligning with Melly's seating position. Juvie's mother also testified, identifying who typically sat in that seat.
Where? 924-071. Call for an automatic stay while
they were aggravators. They go to membership, and again, there are things that the jury would have to find before going into penalty.
Not aggravator, actually, definitely aggravator, that's the gang. Yeah. He was charged in committing the fourth part of the gang, which is an aggravator in front of the
nothing that they would have to find by way of interrogatory.
Yes.
Melly's defense responded by arguing that no firearm was ever recovered from the scene, suggesting the possibility of a drive-by shooting. However, The case took another turn after authorities conducted a raid on Bortlen's home.
Did Vaughn really tell you that Melly told him that he was two friends?
He ain't come out and say, like, we got into an argument. And so, you know, if you know, when people could say something without saying it. And so he told me, like, once I posted what I posted, Vaughn was mad at me. Bro, why you put there, bro? What the bam? I'm like, you sitting up here, like, you know the love we got. You do this for us, but you gonna trust that his two friends? And he said, them was trying to extort him. And so I'm like, if they was trying to extort him, then why are you still around them?
During the raid, investigators allegedly discovered notes and drawings showing juror seating positions along with descriptions of their appearances. Prosecutors believe this suggests possible jury tampering or intimidation. With Bortlen now cooperating with federal authorities, he could validate much of the evidence against Melly, making the case even more difficult for the defense.